Hi everyone! Today we're going to read a story about a rabbit and a turtle. Are you ready for an adventure? Our story takes place in a beautiful meadow filled with sunshine. It's a bright and happy place. In this meadow lived a rabbit named Reggie. Reggie was a very fast rabbit. He loved to hop and skip and show off how fast he could run. Reggie was very sure of himself. He thought he was the fastest animal in the whole meadow. Now, in the same meadow lived a turtle named Tommy. Tommy was a kind and gentle turtle. He wasn't as fast as Reggie, but he was very determined. Tommy was also very patient. He knew that slow and steady wins the race. One sunny day, Reggie challenged Tommy to a race. All the animals in the meadow gathered to watch. They were excited to see who would win. "Ready, set, go!" shouted the owl, who was the referee for the race. Section 5. Reggie's Speedy Start. In the heart of the forest, where the sunlight filtered through the leaves, a race was about to begin. The animals gathered around, eager to see who would come out on top. Reggie zoomed off the starting line like a flash. His legs moved so quickly that they were almost a blur. The grass beneath his feet barely had time to bend before he was already several feet ahead. He was so fast that he left Tommy far behind in a cloud of dust. Tommy, the turtle, was known for his steady pace, but today, he seemed even slower compared to Reggie's lightning speed. "See you later, slowpoke," Reggie shouted, his voice echoing through the trees. Reggie called back to Tommy, laughing. His laughter was filled with confidence and a hint of mischief. He loved the thrill of the race and the feeling of the wind rushing past his ears. He was sure he was going to win. Every hop and bound took him further away from the starting line and closer to the finish. The other animals watched in awe, some cheering, others whispering among themselves. Reggie felt invincible, his heart pounding with excitement. He imagined the moment he would cross the finish line, the cheers of his friends ringing in his ears. But little did he know the race was far from over, and surprises awaited him on the path ahead. Section 6. Tommy's Steady Pace. In the heart of the forest, where the trees whispered ancient secrets and the leaves danced to the rhythm of the wind, lived a turtle named Tommy. Tommy was known far and wide for his unyielding determination and his steady pace. Tommy didn't mind Reggie's teasing. Reggie, the rabbit, was always quick to make fun of Tommy's slow movements. "You'll never get anywhere at that speed," Reggie would laugh, hopping around with boundless energy. But Tommy, with his calm demeanor and wise eyes, knew better. He just kept going, one slow and steady step at a time. Each step was a testament to his patience and perseverance. The path was long and winding, filled with twists and turns, but Tommy never wavered. He knew that every journey, no matter how long, begins with a single step. He wasn't going to give up. The forest was full of obstacles, fallen branches, rocky terrains, and steep hills. But Tommy faced each challenge with unwavering resolve. He climbed over small obstacles, maneuvered around rocks, and kept moving forward, no matter how tough the journey became. "I may be slow," Tommy thought to himself, "but my pace is steady, and my spirit is strong." He paused briefly to catch his breath, looking around at the beauty of the forest. The sun filtered through the leaves, casting a warm glow on his path. With renewed determination, Tommy continued his journey. "But I'll keep going until I reach the finish line." And so, with each step, Tommy moved closer to his goal. He knew that success wasn't about speed, but about persistence and determination. As he finally reached the finish line, a sense of accomplishment washed over him. Tommy had proven that with a steady pace and a determined heart, anything is possible. Section 7. Reggie's Rest Stop. Reggie was so far ahead that he decided to take a little nap under a shady tree. I've got plenty of time, he thought. He closed his eyes and fell fast asleep, dreaming of winning the race. Section 8. Slowly but surely. Meanwhile, Tommy kept moving, even though the sun was hot and he was getting tired. He never stopped, not even for a second. Slow and steady, Tommy reminded himself with each step. Slow and steady wins the race. Section 9. The finish line. As Reggie slept soundly, Tommy finally reached the finish line. All the animals cheered for Tommy, who had won the race. "Hooray for Tommy!" they shouted. "He never gave up." Section 10. The importance of perseverance. Perseverance is a quality that can make a significant difference in our lives. It is the ability to keep going, even when things get tough, and to continue striving towards our goals despite obstacles and setbacks. Reggie the rabbit woke up to the sound of cheering and was shocked to see Tommy the turtle crossing the finish line. Reggie had always been the fastest in the forest, and he couldn't believe his eyes. How could Tommy, who was so slow, have won the race? He had lost the race. Reggie felt a wave of disappointment wash over him. He had been so confident in his speed that he had taken a nap during the race, thinking he had plenty of time to win. Now, he sat on the ground, feeling defeated and embarrassed. The story of the rabbit and the turtle teaches us that it's not always the fastest who wins, but the one who never gives up. Tommy the turtle had kept moving steadily, never stopping, and his perseverance had paid off. This story is a powerful reminder that determination and consistency are often more important than speed or talent. Just like Tommy the turtle, we can achieve anything if we are patient and keep trying our best. Perseverance means continuing to work towards our goals, even when progress seems slow or when we face challenges. It means believing in ourselves and our abilities, and not giving up, no matter how difficult the journey may be. In life, we will encounter many obstacles and setbacks. There will be times when we feel like giving up, when the path ahead seems too difficult, or when progress is slow. But it is during these times that perseverance becomes most important. By continuing to push forward, we build resilience and strength, and we move closer to our goals. Reggie the rabbit learned an important lesson that day. He realized that speed alone was not enough to win the race. He needed to be consistent and determined, just like Tommy the turtle. From that day on, Reggie decided to adopt a new approach. He would work hard, stay focused, and never give up, no matter how tough things got. Perseverance is not just about individual effort. It is also about supporting and encouraging each other. In the forest, the animals learned to work together, helping one another to overcome challenges and achieve their goals. They celebrated each other's successes and provided support during difficult times. This sense of community and mutual support made them all stronger and more resilient. Tommy the turtle and Reggie the rabbit became leaders in their community, inspiring others with their perseverance and determination. They showed that with hard work, patience, and a never-give-up attitude, anything is possible. Their story became a symbol of hope and motivation for all the animals in the forest. As the sun set over the forest, the animals reflected on the day's events. They understood that perseverance was the key to achieving their dreams, and that by supporting each other, they could overcome any obstacle. The story of Tommy the turtle and Reggie the rabbit would be told for generations, reminding everyone of the importance of never giving up. The importance of perseverance cannot be overstated. It is a quality that helps us navigate the challenges of life, achieve our goals, and become stronger individuals. By embracing perseverance, we can overcome any obstacle and reach our full potential. So, let us all strive to be like Tommy the turtle, moving steadily towards our goals and never giving up, no matter what challenges we face. Once upon a time, in a sunny meadow, lived a shepherd boy. He watched over fluffy sheep every day. Watching sheep was boring. The boy wished for something exciting to happen. The boy wandered the meadow. He looked at the clouds. He sang silly songs to himself. But nothing exciting ever happened. "Bay," said the sheep. The boy sighed. Even the sheep were bored. One afternoon, the boy felt especially lonely. The sun was hot, and the sheep were lazy. He wished someone would come talk to him. He wished something interesting would happen. Suddenly, the boy had an idea. A mischievous idea. He decided to play a trick. He would make the villagers believe a wolf was attacking his sheep. "Help! Help!" he shouted with all his might. "Wolf! Wolf!" The boy's cries echoed through the valley. He pretended to be scared, even though he was giggling on the inside. The villagers heard his calls for help and came running. They were very worried about the sheep. "Where's the wolf?" cried the burly man, out of breath. "Don't worry, we'll save you," shouted the plump woman. The boy pointed towards the sheep, who were peacefully munching grass, unaware of the commotion. The villagers looked around, confused. They didn't see any wolf. The sheep were safe and sound. The villagers felt a little silly for rushing over. "There's no wolf here, young man," said the skinny old man, shaking his head. "Why did you cry wolf?" The boy just shrugged and said, "I was just playing. It's so boring watching sheep all day." The villagers were not amused. "Lying is not a game," said the burly man sternly. "What if there was a real wolf? We wouldn't believe you and your sheep would be in danger." The boy felt a little bad. He hadn't thought of it that way. The villagers went back to their work, grumbling about the boy's prank. The boy sat down by the sheep, feeling ashamed. The next day, the boy tried to be good. He watched the sheep carefully. He sang them songs. But nothing exciting happened. The sun was setting, and the boy was bored again. He remembered how much fun it was to trick the villagers. He thought, maybe just one more time won't hurt. So he took a deep breath and shouted, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! Wolf! Wolf! Again!" The villagers heard the boy's cries again. They were hesitant this time, remembering the previous day's prank. The boy had fooled them twice before, causing them to rush to his aid only to find him laughing at their gullibility. But they were worried about the boy and the sheep. What if there really was a wolf this time? "Not again," sighed the plump woman, wiping her brow with a handkerchief. "Should we believe him this time?" asked the skinny old man, his voice trembling with uncertainty. The burly man, who had always been the most skeptical, said, "We have to go and check. We can't let the boy and the sheep down." The villagers exchanged worried glances, their minds racing with the possibility of danger. They knew the boy had a tendency to cry wolf, but the risk was too great to ignore. As they gathered their tools and prepared to head out, the air was thick with tension. The children clung to their mothers, sensing the unease in the adults. The village elder, a wise woman with years of experience, finally spoke up. "We must be cautious, but we cannot ignore the cries for help." With that, the villagers set off towards the pasture, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and determination. Would they find a wolf this time? Or would it be another false alarm? Only time would tell. Fooled twice. They rushed to the meadow, ready to fight the wolf. But once again, there was no wolf to be found. The boy was laughing, clutching his stomach. The sheep continued to graze peacefully.
"You tricked us again,"
roared the burly man.
"We almost believed you!"
shouted the plump woman. The skinny old man shook his head and said,
"This isn't funny, young man. You shouldn't lie."
A shadow in the woods. The villagers left, angrier than before. The boy was alone again, but this time he didn't feel like laughing. He felt a little scared. What if a wolf really did come? Just then, the boy heard a rustle in the bushes. He froze. A pair of glowing eyes appeared from the darkness of the woods. A low growl sent shivers down his spine. This time, it was a real wolf. The boy's heart pounded in his chest as he stood there, paralyzed with fear. He had cried wolf so many times before, and now, when it was truly happening, there was no one to believe him. The sheep huddled closer together, sensing the danger that lurked just beyond the tree line. The boy's mind raced, thinking of all the times he had fooled the villagers, and how they had grown tired of his lies. He wished he could take it all back, but it was too late. The rustling grew louder, and the glowing eyes seemed to inch closer. The boy knew he had to act fast. He grabbed a nearby stick, hoping it would be enough to fend off the predator. His hands trembled as he held it out in front of him, trying to appear braver than he felt. The wolf's growl grew more menacing, and the boy could see its silhouette emerging from the shadows. He took a deep breath, ready to face the consequences of his actions. This time, there was no room for deceit, only the stark reality of the danger before him. A lonely howl echoed through the night, a sound that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. The moon hung high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the landscape. The boy was terrified. He screamed, "Wolf! Wolf! Please help!" His voice trembled with fear as he called out into the darkness, hoping someone would come to his aid. "It's really here this time!" he shouted, his eyes wide with panic. But no one came running. The village was silent, the only sound the boy's desperate cries. The boy cried and cried, tears streaming down his face. He felt utterly alone, his sobs echoing in the empty night. It was no use. No one believed him anymore. The villagers had learned their lesson. They didn't believe the boy anymore. They had been fooled too many times by his false alarms, and now they ignored his cries for help. The wolf, seeing no one around to stop it, chased the sheep away into the night. The sheep scattered in all directions, their frightened bleats filling the air as the wolf pursued them relentlessly. The boy was left alone, filled with regret. He sat on the ground, his head in his hands, thinking about all the times he had lied and the consequences of his actions. He had lied too many times, and now no one believed him, even when he was telling the truth. He remembered the times he had laughed at the villagers' panic, thinking it was all just a game. From that day on, the boy learned his lesson. He realized the importance of honesty and the trust that comes with it. He vowed never to lie again, no matter the situation. He never lied again. He realized that honesty is always the best policy. Over time, he earned back the trust of the villagers by always telling the truth and helping others. The boy learned that trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild, but with honesty and integrity, it is possible.
Christmas is coming. The air is cold and crisp. Snowflakes fall softly from the sky. Everything is sparkly and white. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Inside a cozy house, live Alfie and Annie Rose. Alfie loves to build snowmen. Annie Rose loves to sing Christmas carols. They are brother and sister, and they love Christmas. The house smells like gingerbread cookies. Mum is decorating the Christmas tree. Dad is wrapping presents. Alfie and Annie Rose are making paper snowflakes. They are so excited for Christmas. Oh no! Annie Rose can't find a button for her snowman ornament. She searches everywhere. Don't worry, says Alfie. We'll find it. They look under the sofa, behind the curtains, and even in the toy box. Annie Rose is feeling quite anxious because this snowman ornament is very special to her. It was a gift from her grandmother, and she wants it to be perfect. Alfie, her little brother, is determined to help her find the missing button. He knows how much it means to her. They start their search in the living room. Annie Rose lifts the cushions on the sofa, hoping to find the button hidden underneath. But there's nothing there except some crumbs and a lost pencil. Alfie checks behind the curtains, thinking maybe the button rolled away and got stuck there. But all he finds is a bit of dust and a spider web. They move on to the toy box, where they dig through piles of toys, books, and games. Annie Rose finds an old teddy bear she thought she had lost, but no button. Alfie discovers a missing puzzle piece, but still no button. They even check the kitchen, looking under the table and in the corners of the room. Annie Rose opens the drawers, hoping the button might have somehow ended up there. But their search turns up nothing. Just when they are about to give up, Alfie has an idea. He remembers that their dog, Max, loves to play with small objects. Maybe Max found the button and took it to his bed. They rush to Max's bed and start looking through his toys. And there it is, the missing button right next to Max's favourite chew toy. Annie Rose is overjoyed. She thanks Alfie and gives Max a big hug. With the button back in place, her snowman ornament is perfect once again. Section 5. Finding a solution. Alfie has an idea. He has been thinking about it for a while, and suddenly, a light bulb goes off in his head. He knows exactly what to do to solve the problem they have been facing. He rummages through his special box of treasures. This box is filled with all sorts of interesting items he has collected over the years. Each item holds a special memory or a unique story. Alfie is determined to find something that will help him and Annie Rose. After a few moments of searching, he finds a shiny red button. This button is not just any button. It is a magical button that he found during one of his adventures. He remembers how it glowed under the sunlight and how it made him feel special. "This will be perfect," he exclaims. Alfie is filled with excitement and hope. He knows that this button will be the key to solving their problem. His eyes sparkle with joy as he holds the button up for Annie Rose to see. Annie Rose is so happy. She has been worried about the problem, but seeing Alfie's excitement and the shiny red button gives her hope. She smiles brightly, her eyes twinkling with happiness. She knows that together they can overcome anything. She gives Alfie a big hug. The hug is warm and filled with gratitude. They both feel a sense of relief and joy. They know that with the magical button and their teamwork, they can solve any problem that comes their way. Their bond as siblings grows even stronger. Section 6. A joyful Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. The tree is twinkling with colourful lights, casting a warm glow throughout the living room. The stockings are hung by the fireplace, each one carefully labelled with names in glittery letters. Alfie and Annie Rose, with wide eyes and eager smiles, leave a plate of freshly baked cookies and a glass of milk for Santa. They can hardly contain their excitement, imagining Santa's sleigh flying through the night sky, pulled by reindeer. The anticipation is almost too much to bear as they think about the presents that will be waiting for them in the morning. The room is filled with the scent of pine from the Christmas tree and the sweet aroma of cookies. The fireplace crackles softly, adding to the cozy atmosphere. Alfie and Annie Rose, dressed in their festive pajamas, giggle and whisper about what Santa might bring them. They talk about the toys they've wished for and the adventures they hope to have. As they prepare for bed, their parents read them a Christmas story, adding to the magic of the night. The story transports them to a world of wonder where anything is possible. The children listen intently, their imaginations running wild with images of Santa, his elves, and the North Pole. Finally, it's time to sleep. Alfie and Annie Rose snuggle under their blankets, their minds racing with excitement. They close their eyes, trying to fall asleep quickly, knowing that the sooner they sleep, the sooner Christmas morning will arrive. The room is quiet except for the soft sounds of the night and the occasional rustle of the Christmas tree. It's a night filled with joy, wonder, and the promise of magical surprises. Section 7. Sharing is caring. Alfie and Annie Rose learned something important today. Sharing is caring. When we help each other, Christmas is even more special. Section 8. Christmas Morning Delight. Christmas morning arrives. Alfie and Annie Rose run downstairs. Wow! Presents are piled under the tree. They wake up their parents and everyone opens gifts together. It's a magical Christmas morning. Section 9. The Spirit of Christmas. Christmas is more than presents and decorations. It's about spending time with family and friends. It's about being kind and helpful. That's the spirit of Christmas. Spirit of
Elmer the elephant was very playful. He loved to swing his trunk. He loved to stomp his feet. Most of all, Elmer loved making new friends. One day, Elmer went to the forest. He wanted to play with someone new. He walked and walked, his big ears flapping in the breeze. Elmer saw a group of animals playing. He saw a bouncy bunny, a chatty monkey, and a giggly giraffe. "Hello!" called Elmer, his voice booming. The animals stopped playing and looked at Elmer. They had never seen an elephant before. The bunny hopped closer. "Hello," she said shyly. "I'm Bella. What's your name?" "I'm Elmer," the elephant replied. He smiled, happy to meet someone new. "Do you want to play with me?" The monkey swung down from a tree. "I'm Milo. We're playing with this bouncy red ball," he chirped. "And I'm Gigi," the giraffe added, bending down to say hello. "It's so much fun." Elmer's eyes sparkled. He loved playing with balls. He carefully took the ball with his trunk. Elmer tossed the ball high in the air. It flew up, up, up towards the clouds. The animals giggled as they watched it fall. But then, something unexpected happened. The ball bounced once, twice, and then disappeared. "Where did it go?" cried Bella, her nose twitching. "I don't know," exclaimed Milo, scratching his head. Gigi stretched her neck to look around. "It's gone," she said, her voice trembling. Elmer felt his heart sink. He didn't mean to lose their ball. "Don't worry," he said, trying to sound brave. "We'll find it." The friends searched everywhere. They looked under bushes, behind trees, and even in the river, but the ball was nowhere to be found. "It's no use," sighed Bella, her ears drooping. "We'll never find it. What if we never play with our ball again?" worried Gigi. Elmer knew he had to think of something. They needed a plan. Section 5. A peek into the cave. Elmer noticed a dark cave nearby. "Maybe it bounced in there," he suggested, pointing with his trunk. The other animals hesitated. The cave looked dark and scary. "I don't want to go in there," whispered Bella, shivering. "Me neither," agreed Milo, holding onto Gigi's leg. "It's okay, I'll go first," said Elmer bravely. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. Section 6. The Bear and the Bees. The cave was damp and smelled of moss. The air was thick with moisture, and the walls were covered in a green, slippery layer of moss. It was a place that felt ancient, untouched by time. Elmer's big feet crunched on the rocky floor. Each step echoed through the cave, a reminder of his size and weight. The rocks beneath his feet were uneven, making his journey slow and cautious. He couldn't see very well in the darkness. The dim light from the cave entrance barely reached the deeper parts, casting long shadows that danced with every movement. Elmer's eyes strained to make out shapes in the gloom. Suddenly, Elmer heard a low growl. It was a deep, rumbling sound that seemed to come from the very bowels of the earth. The growl sent a shiver down his spine, making the hairs on his back stand on end. He froze, his heart pounding. The sound of his own heartbeat was loud in his ears, almost drowning out the growl. Elmer's wide eyes darted around, trying to locate the source of the sound. Two bright eyes glowed in the darkness. They were like twin stars in the black void, unblinking and fixed on Elmer. The eyes seemed to pierce through the darkness, watching his every move. A big, furry bear emerged from the shadows. Its massive form was intimidating, covered in thick, dark fur that seemed to absorb the light. The bear moved with a slow, deliberate grace, each step measured and powerful. He was holding a sticky pot of honey. The golden liquid dripped from the edges, glistening in the dim light. The sweet scent of honey filled the air, mingling with the damp, earthy smell of the cave. "Who's there?" he growled, licking his lips. The bear's voice was rough and gravelly, filled with suspicion. His eyes narrowed as he looked at Elmer, sizing him up. "It's just me, Elmer," said the elephant, trying not to sound scared. His voice wavered slightly, betraying his fear. Elmer tried to stand tall, but his legs felt like jelly. He saw something buzzing near the bear's honey pot. Bees! They were small but numerous, their wings creating a constant hum. The bees seemed agitated, flying in erratic patterns around the honey pot. Elmer and the bear stared at each other, the tension thick in the air. Neither of them moved, both unsure of what the other would do next. The buzzing of the bees was the only sound, a constant reminder of the sweet, sticky prize they both coveted. The bear's claws tightened around the honey pot, his eyes never leaving Elmer. He was ready to defend his treasure, no matter the cost. Elmer knew he had to tread carefully. Elmer took a cautious step back, trying to show he meant no harm. He didn't want to provoke the bear, but the honey was too tempting to ignore. The bees buzzed louder, sensing the tension between the two animals. The bear seemed to relax slightly, his posture softening. Maybe he realized Elmer wasn't a threat, or maybe he was just tired of the constant buzzing of the bees. Either way, the tension in the cave lessened, if only a little. In a surprising turn of events, the bear offered the honey pot to Elmer. The elephant hesitated for a moment, then accepted. They shared the honey, the sweet taste a reward for their newfound understanding. The bees, now calm, settled around them, content with the peace. Section 7. Working together for the ball. Elmer knew he had to be careful. He didn't want to upset the bear or the bees. He quickly explained about the missing ball. The bear listened patiently. When Elmer finished, the bear chuckled. "I think I know where your ball is," he said, pointing with his paw. The ball was stuck high up on a ledge. "How are we going to reach it?" asked Elmer. "Don't worry," said the bear. "I have an idea." Section 8. A splashy surprise, the bear called to the bees. "Buzz over to that ledge and push the ball down," he instructed. The bees buzzed excitedly and flew towards the ledge. They worked together, pushing the ball with all their might. Suddenly, the ball came loose. It bounced down and landed with a plop, right into a puddle of mud. The animals stared at the muddy ball. Then they all burst into laughter. Even the grumpy bear cracked a smile. Section 9. Friends Forgive and Forget. In the heart of the vibrant forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the flowers danced in the breeze, a group of friends learned a valuable lesson about forgiveness and friendship. "It's okay," said Bella, wiping a tear from her eye. "We can wash it." Bella, the wise owl, always knew how to comfort her friends. Her gentle words were like a soothing balm to Elmer, the little elephant who had accidentally dropped the ball into a muddy puddle. "And we found it together," added Gigi, nuzzling Elmer with her head. Gigi, the playful giraffe, had a knack for finding the silver lining in every situation. Elmer felt happy. He realized that the mishap had brought them closer together. He had made new friends, and they had helped each other. The bond they shared was growing stronger with each passing moment. They laughed and shared stories, their hearts light and free from any grudges. "I'm sorry I lost the ball," he said to his friends. Elmer's voice was filled with remorse, but his friends' smiles reassured him that everything was going to be all right. "It's all right, Elmer," said Milo. Milo, the kind-hearted monkey, patted Elmer on the back. His words were filled with warmth and understanding. "We're friends, and friends forgive each other." The words echoed in Elmer's heart, filling him with a sense of belonging and love. He knew that true friends always stood by each other no matter what. The animals all gathered around the muddy puddle and began to wash the ball. They worked together, their laughter ringing through the forest. Each splash of water was a testament to their unity and friendship. They splashed and played, forgetting all about their earlier worries. The forest was filled with joy and the sound of their playful antics. The muddy ball was soon clean, but more importantly, their hearts were filled with happiness and the spirit of forgiveness. The lesson they learned that day would stay with them forever, reminding them that true friendship is about forgiving and forgetting and always being there for each other. Section 10. Fun in the Sun. The sun was shining brightly over the lush green forest, casting a golden hue on everything it touched. It was a perfect day for an adventure. The colorful ball, which had been a favorite toy for many, had a small tear. But with a little bit of care and some patches, it was soon as good as new, ready for another day of fun. The friends, a diverse group of animals including an elephant, a bear, a monkey, and more, emerged from the cool, dark cave into the sunny forest. They were excited and ready to play under the warm sun, their spirits high and their hearts full of joy. Elmer, the playful elephant, used his strong trunk to toss the ball high into the air. The ball soared gracefully, catching the sunlight and sparkling as it flew. Bella the bear, Milo the monkey, and Gigi the rabbit chased after the ball with enthusiasm. Their happy laughter echoed through the forest, creating a symphony of joy that could be heard from afar. Even the usually calm and composed bear couldn't resist joining in the fun. He gently rolled the ball with his big, soft paws, adding to the playful atmosphere. The animals played together all afternoon, their games filled with laughter and camaraderie. They enjoyed each other's company, forging bonds of friendship that would last a lifetime. The forest was alive with their joy, and the sun seemed to shine even brighter in response to their happiness. As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the forest, the animals knew it was time to wind down. The day had been filled with fun and laughter, but now it was time to rest. Elmer waved goodbye to his new friends, his heart full of the day's joyful memories. He promised to visit again soon, knowing that the bonds they had formed today would bring them together again. The sun set, casting long shadows and a peaceful calm over the forest as Elmer made his way home, looking forward to the next adventure. Section 11. Friends Forever. Elmer walked through the forest, his heart full of joy. He had learned that making new friends could be an adventure. He also learned that even when things go wrong, working together and helping each other can make everything better. And most importantly, Elmer learned that true friends stick together, forgive each other's mistakes, and always have fun together. He couldn't wait for his next adventure with his new friends.
Princess Yasmin lived in a beautiful kingdom. It was Persia, a land of warm sunshine and sparkling sands. Her palace shimmered like a jewel in the desert. Yasmin loved her home. She was kind and brave. Princess Yasmin was not just any princess, she was adored by everyone in her kingdom. Her beauty was renowned, but it was her heart that truly made her special. Every morning, She would walk through the bustling markets of Persia, greeting the merchants and townsfolk with a warm smile. The people loved her dearly, for she always took the time to listen to their stories and help them with their troubles. The kingdom of Persia was a place of wonder and magic. The sands sparkled under the sun, creating a golden sea that stretched as far as the eye could see. The palace, where Yasmin lived, was a magnificent structure with tall, elegant towers and intricate carvings that told the stories of ancient heroes and gods. It was surrounded by lush gardens filled with exotic flowers and fountains that danced in the sunlight. Yasmin's days were filled with adventure and learning. She had a thirst for knowledge and would often spend hours in the grand library, reading about distant lands and ancient civilizations. She was also a skilled horse rider and loved to explore the vast deserts on her majestic white stallion, Alborz. Together, they would ride through the dunes, feeling the wind in their hair and the freedom of the open desert. But Yasmin's greatest joy came from helping her people. She would often visit the villages and towns, bringing food and supplies to those in need. She organized festivals and celebrations, bringing joy and laughter to the kingdom. Her kindness knew no bounds, and her bravery was unmatched. She once saved a young boy from a raging river, diving in without a second thought and pulling him to safety. The people of Persia knew they were blessed to have such a wonderful princess. Yasmin's love for her kingdom and its people was evident in everything she did. She was a beacon of hope and a symbol of the strength and beauty of Persia. And so, the legend of Princess Yasmin and the sparkling sands of Persia lived on, inspiring generations to come. One day, Yasmin helped her gardener. They watered beautiful flowers. She played with her pet peacock in the palace gardens. She was brave. She even helped a lost baby camel find its mother. Suddenly, a colourful bird flew to Yasmin. It had a tiny scroll tied to its leg. The scroll was a message. It said, "Help! Magic music stolen." Yasmin knew she had to help. Yasmin rode her loyal camel into the vast golden desert, the sun casting long shadows on the rippling sand dunes. She had received a mysterious message, one that spoke of a hidden cave, a place shrouded in legend and mystery. This cave was known as the Cave of Whispering Wonders, a name that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it. It was said to hold magical secrets, secrets that had been whispered through the ages, passed down from generation to generation. Yasmin, with her adventurous spirit and unwavering determination, was set on uncovering these secrets. But more importantly, she was on a mission to find the stolen music, a melody that had been taken from her kingdom, leaving it in a state of sorrow and silence. As she journeyed deeper into the desert, the landscape around her began to change. The sand dunes grew taller, and the air became cooler. Yasmin could feel the weight of the task ahead, but she was not one to back down. Her camel, sensing her resolve, moved steadily forward, its hooves leaving a trail in the soft sand. The message had been cryptic, a series of symbols and ancient runes that Yasmin had painstakingly deciphered. It spoke of a cave hidden beneath the sands, a place where the whispers of the past could be heard. These whispers, it was said, held the key to unlocking the cave's secrets. Yasmin knew that finding the cave was only the first step. She would need to listen carefully, to understand the whispers, and to follow their guidance. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the desert, Yasmin spotted something in the distance. A formation of rocks, unlike any she had seen before, stood tall against the horizon. Her heart raced with excitement and anticipation. Could this be the entrance to the Cave of Whispering Wonders? She urged her camel forward, her eyes fixed on the rocks ahead. With each step, the whispers grew louder, filling the air around her. Yasmin knew she was close. The cave was near, and with it, the promise of uncovering the magical secrets and finding the stolen music. Her journey was far from over, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Cave of Whispering Wonders awaited, and Yasmin was determined to unlock its mysteries. Inside the cave, Yasmin found beautiful drawings. They glowed. The drawings told a story. They showed how music brought joy to the kingdom. Yasmin knew she had to get it back. A huge falcon guarded the stolen music. It had feathers as sharp as swords. But Yasmin was brave. She knew falcons loved music. She played a happy tune on her flute. The falcon listened, mesmerized. The falcon's eyes softened. He was soothed by the music. He lowered his head, letting Yasmin take the cage. The cage held the stolen music. It sparkled with magical notes. Yasmin thanked the falcon for listening. Yasmin returned to the kingdom. Everyone cheered. Yasmin was a hero. She released the magical music back into the world. The kingdom was filled with joy and beautiful melodies once more. Princess Yasmin had saved the day. In the kingdom of Almaris, where the sun always set in hues of gold and pink, Princess Yasmin was known far and wide for her gentle heart and unwavering courage. She was not just a princess by title, but a true leader by her actions. She proved that kindness and bravery could overcome any obstacle. Whether it was helping a villager in need or standing up to a fierce dragon, Yasmin's bravery shone through. Her acts of kindness were like ripples in a pond, spreading far and wide, touching the lives of everyone in the kingdom. And she knew that even in a land of sparkling sands, where the heat could be relentless and the nights could be cold, the true warmth came from the hearts of the people. Yasmin often wandered through the desert, marveling at its beauty and finding inspiration in its vastness. The most precious treasures were kindness, courage, and the bonds we share with one another. Yasmin believed that every act of kindness, no matter how small, had the power to change the world. She would often share her meals with the animals, knowing that compassion extended beyond just humans. And a little bit of magic. Yasmin's magic wasn't just in the spells she cast, but in the way she made people feel. Her presence was a beacon of hope, and her smile could light up the darkest of days. She taught her people that magic was not just in the mystical, but in the everyday acts of love and bravery. And so, in the kingdom of Almaris, under the golden sunsets and amidst the sparkling sands, Princess Yasmin's legacy of kindness and bravery continued to inspire generations.